Well, it is a very good morning today and quite wet out there. And if you're just leaving your home, please remember to carry that umbrella. And if you're driving, visibility will not be very good. Please keep a distance of about 10 meters from the other vehicle in front of you. It is a nice day though, the 12th day of the month, the 13th day of the month of November 2019. I'm glad that you've joined us this morning. My name is Timothy Omondi. My sign language interpreter, of course, is Simon, who is joining us here today. Well, we start off with news from Nairobi, where this year marks the 25th anniversary of the International Conference on Population and Development, ICPD, which was initiated in Cairo. This program saw the cohesion of 179 governments that adopted a landmark program of action which set out to empower women and girls for their sake and for the benefit of their families, communities and nations. The ICPD 25 is being co-hosted by Denmark and Kenya in the capital Nairobi and was officially opened by His Excellency President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
The International Conference on Population and Development program have made incredible gains since its inception 25 years ago, but too many people are still being left behind and too many nations have not been able to fully reap the demographic dividend because young people and other groups still lack agency, education and access to critical health services.
Achieving gender equality and women's empowerment and upholding women's rights is a game changer for poverty reduction, inclusive growth, democratic governance, peace and justice. The Sustainable Development Goals cannot and will not be achieved until women, girls and young people are able to control their bodies and their lives and live a life free from fear and from violence. When these rights are denied, people's ability to achieve their full potential is constrained and economic and social progress is impeded. And that's why governments must invest in human capital throughout the life course.
We cannot return to a time when women had little say in reproductive issues, or for that matter, in any area of their lives. I think we can all agree that ICPD was a turning point, a defining moment in our history. In Cairo, the world articulated a bold new vision about the relationship between population, development, and individual well-being.
Increasing the pressure is the deadline to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. In his inaugural speech, President Uhuru Kenyatta outlined the gains made by Kenya in achieving the goals laid out in the ICPD program of action.
On health, I am happy to say that we have dramatically reduced child and infant mortality, and maternity services and health services for children below 1 year are free in all government health institutions. Reduction in maternal mortality has been steady but slower, has steadily decreased, but at a slower pace, from 698 in 1994 to 362 per 100,000 births, live births today, while the contraceptive prevalence rate has doubled.
The president also highlighted gains made in eradicating female genital mutilation.
Together agreed to eliminate female genital mutilation, which remains one of the most serious violations of human rights of women and girls. I would like to restate my personal commitment and that of the government of Kenya to providing the leadership necessary to ensure that this practice ends within this generation. In April this year, we signed a landmark declaration between the governments of Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Somalia, and Ethiopia to address cross-border FGM practice. And last week, we signed an agreement with religious and cultural elders from Kenya to eliminate FGM by 2022.
Uhuru reiterated the global threats like cancers that range from breast, prostate, and cervical cancers, not to forget the growing environmental pressures, including the urgent threat of climate change. This, Uhuru said, can only be defeated if partnerships are enhanced.
To complete the unfinished agenda, therefore requires us to develop new partnerships, mobilize political support, increase the level of international and domestic financing, and accelerate implementation of innovative and supportive interventions. Fortunately, there is a greater international commitment and cooperation to address these issues. The Sustainable Development Goals have provided a comprehensive international platform to systematically advance the Cairo agenda. We also have more scientific and research evidence on what works and better technologies to guide and support policy.
Uhuru also stated that women are the backbone of the society, and strengthening and including them in these partnerships means real achievements.
And because our women are the gatekeepers to family health, they exert such a powerful influence on intergenerational outcomes for their children. Empowering women essentially empowers all our families. It empowers our societies. It empowers our nations, and it empowers the world.
The event, which began Tuesday 12, runs till Thursday 14th November. The governments of Kenya and Denmark and UNFPA are co-convening the Nairobi Summit on ICPD 25, a high-level conference to mobilize the political will and financial commitments urgently needed to finally and fully implement the ICPD program of action. These commitments will be centered around achieving zero unmet need for family planning information and services, zero preventable maternal deaths, and zero sexual and gender-based violence and harmful practices against women and girls. Mary Vuguza, GBS Morning Extra.
Well, indeed, the event runs till Thursday of this week, and Nairobians are being cautioned, especially those using Wayaki Way, those who are using the Langata Road and other roads in the city, to be aware, because there's a lot of movement. About 6,000 delegates are attending this event here in Nairobi, and so you can imagine the movement of VVIPs and VIPs. That would definitely cause some traffic snarl, but we do hope that nothing goes wrong, and that as much as possible you can avoid using roads that are that have heavy traffic. Well, we move on to education matters now. Deputy President William Ruto has asked universities to review their decision to offer diploma and certificate courses. Ruto said such courses should be left to technical and vocational education and training colleges. He also insisted or urged the universities to concentrate more on offering degree courses. He spoke on Monday during the opening of the Uluwazi Training Facility at the African Population and Health Research Center, the APHRC, in Kitusuru, Nairobi County.
The collaboration that exists between this institution and our universities is in the right direction. I think there should be more collaboration between this great facility and institution with our institutions of higher learning. And again, listening to you, it's now much more clearer in my mind what we should be doing with our universities. I know we have been having a discussion on our education sector, and we have vocational training centers at the lower level. We have technical training centers at the medium level, and we have universities. I think it's now clear that the argument we've always had that universities should stop issuing certificates and diplomas. They should in fact concentrate on issuing PhDs. Maybe there they can then be much more focused on research rather than all these general courses all over the place. So I quite agree with you that maybe our universities should focus at the top of the pyramid and allow other institutions to do the diplomas and the certificates and the others. Today we have equipped 10 centers around the country. We are in the process of finalizing the equipment of 8 new radiotherapy centers around Kenya. So progressively, we will be addressing the concerns of warriors like Lillian and making it that much easier for people to access help and to access treatment.
Now, moving on to the coastal region, heavy rains at the coast on Tuesday afternoon disrupted transport in major towns as some roads were rendered impassable due to the flooding. The weatherman had warned residents in Mombasa to brace for heavy downpour for the next 30 hours. According to Mombasa County Commissioner Gilbert Kitio, some cars were swept away by the floodings, which disrupted some roads in Jomvu. He warned drivers to be careful when using the roads. The most affected areas in Mombasa were Bombolulu, Likoni, Mishomoroni, Jomvu, Kiembeni, and parts of the Central Business District. Several business premises along Mombasa's Moi Avenue were flooded as a result of the rains. The floods revealed the poor state of drainage system in the coastal town. Now we stay in the coastal region where a huge fire on Tuesday evening engulfed Mombasa Hospital, forcing patients to evacuate as firefighters battled the smoke and flames. The casualties of the fire, which is understood to have broke out at around 20-30 hours, is yet to be established. Media sources say that no injuries have been reported as of yet. It remains unknown how many patients were in the 120-bed capacity hospital, which is the largest, oldest private health facility in the coastal county. Now let's dip our fingers into some politics. A group of ODM members of Parliament, led by Minority Chief Whip Suna MP Junet Mohammed, criticized the Tanga faction of causing the chaos in Kibra. They say that the Jubilee went to Kibra not for votes, but to just sow discord among the residents of Kibra.
Odinga and ODM in Kibra was exactly what the BBI sought to stop. Odinga has brazenly subverted the handshake in the full glare of national and international media.
I want to tell them that one, as Jubilee members of parliament, we shall not allow ODM to blackmail, coerce, or threaten President Uhuru Kenyatta. The president's objectives and intentions with the handshake are well known to Kenyans. It was to seek non-violent resolution of issues that affect the country, including elections. And it is clear that Odinga and his brigade of goons had other motives with the handshake. One, Kenyans know that Raila Odinga has never won any election, presidential election against Uhuru Kenyatta or any Jubilee candidate. Even in the future, he will not.
Pengine tuliona watu wakipigwa, polisi bado wakisimama pale. Polisi inaonekana hawataki kufanya kazi ile tumewapea. Ni jana tu mliona wakipiga msichana wa university, anapigwa kama mbuzi ama umbwa imekula mafuta. Wanampiga. We want to ask the IG, is this the service that you are giving Kenyans? Hiyo ballot paper, na mimi nitasema, kuna ile tuliona as early as midnight before the election. Inatumwa kwa WhatsApp. Mimi
Well, indeed, that was a story that we had also prepared, but the actual story that you saw is a group of Tanga MPs who were blaming the Kibra violence on ODM. They had now shift blame on the IG and the Interior CS, accusing the duo of doing nothing to ensure safety of Kenyans. On the other hand, they were visibly agitated, accusing ODM leader Raila Odinga of having different narrative from the President Uhuru Kenyatta, especially in regard to the handshake, while addressing the media at the parliament buildings. But now we ran the story where a group of ODM members of parliament, in a quick rejoinder, actually led by the Suna MP Junet Mohammed, criticized the Tanga function and accused them of causing the chaos in Kibra. And they actually said that the Tanga team or the Jubilee team did not go to Kibra to seek for votes, but to sow discord among the members. Let's listen into this next story.
And this is our response. So the people who have perpetrated violence in this country are known. Nobody died in Kibra constituency, but there are people they have killed, Tanga killed in Malindi, in Ganda ward. Somebody lost his life. We went and buried him. They're not talking about that.
Pia mimi nataka kuchukua nafasi hii kulani vikali, sisi sote tunalani vikali ile fujo ambayo ilitokea Kibera. Kwa wengi ambao kwamba tulikuwa Kibera, tulishuhudia kila kitu ambacho kwamba kilikuwa kinaendelea. Kura zilianza mapema, kisha kwa amani. Chenye kilileta ghasia, kitu kilileta ghasia cha kwanza kabisa, lilikuwa ni lile hongo lilokuwa linatembezwa na watu wa takataka. Hizo takataka za Ruto zote zilikuwa zimewekwa kila kona.
Mimi nilipoingia katika mashimoni, nilipata Didmas asha nyanganywa kofia mapema asubuhi. Sudi alikuwa amekimbizwa kupitia kwa choo.
Aliingia kwa misikiti ya
line 7. Na mheshimiwa chief whip alimuona akiingia akipita kwa hiyo choo straight mpaka katika msikiti ndani. Washaili alikuwa kwa sababu walikamatwa wakipeana pesa. Wakionga watu pesa.
Grupu ya Tanga ambayo ni mrengo wa Jubilee imejulikana kwa kufuruga kila mahali. Na safari ya kuenda Kibera ilikuwa safari ya kuanza fujo. Haikuwa safari ya kuendesha demokrasia. Kwa hivyo tungependa kuambia kama wafanyakazi na tulibashiri sawa kwamba kufikia saa 4 Imran Okoth atakuwa mjumbe, na imefanyika hivyo.
Kwa niaba ya wamama wote wa Kenya, mimi nasikitika vile wamama wameanza matusi kabisa. Wamama viongozi wenzangu, sasa matusi imezidi. Na wamama wengi, haswa wengi ni women rep kama mimi. Tuko na kazi mingi mashinani. Badala ya kufanya kazi mashinani, sasa tumeingia kwa matusi. Mimi nashutumu hayo. Hawa mama ndio wanafanya hata sisi wamama tunapigwa. ndio wanafanya sasa hata watu hawaoni wamama wanafanya nini.
Away from politics now, 4 police officers who were caught on camera brutalizing a student during a protest at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology JKUAT have been interdicted following public uproar. In a press release issued on Tuesday, Inspector General of Police Hilary Mutembei said the 4 officers had been identified and are set to face further disciplinary action.
Irekodi yote. Hii lazima tutumie online.
And that actually will be among the things that we'll be discussing here on GBS Morning Extra today, as I'll be joined later by a panel who will help us discuss that. Apparently we have some student leaders also who will be joining us this morning, and hopefully a member of the Senate also will be joining us, hopefully later in the program, to discuss these matters further. We now cross over to another story where another maize scandal is on the offing that involves a disappearance of 4.5 billion Kenya shillings, which is part of 11.67 billion that the government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, allegedly spent to import maize in the country in the year 2017. Agriculture Principal Secretary Hamadi Boga, appearing on Monday before the National Assembly Public Accounts Committee, failed to give out the relevant documents detailing how the billions of shillings were used.